Alright, here we're going to fill out the guided notes for Chapter 1, Section 1. And this is solving algebraic expressions and simplifying algebraic expressions. With the big idea here is that we have a variable and we know what the value of that variable is and we want to solve for it. So to fill out these notes here, blank are the letters used to represent unknown quantities. Variables are letters used to represent unknown quantities. Expressions that contain at least one variable are called algebraic expressions. You can evaluate an algebraic expression by replacing each variable with a number and then applying the order of operations. Let's try this out. So we want to replace each letter here. Each letter, we have M and Q, and then we're going to apply the order of operations. Well, M is 12, Q is negative 1. So I'm going to take M out, and put my 12 in there. Notice how I replaced M with parentheses, and inside the parentheses I put my number. I replaced Q with parentheses, and inside those parentheses I replaced my number. It eliminates some confusion. So here we could see we have 12 plus, let's see, 12 plus 3 minus a negative would be 3 plus a positive. So 3 plus 1 is 4 squared. Right? We have to do parentheses first, and then we're going to do our exponents. And 4 squared is 16. We have 12 plus 16. Now, we would have multiplication if there was multiplication. I don't have any. Division if there was division. I don't have any. And now we get to addition, and we have 12 plus 16, which gives us 28. Same thing here. We're going to replace M with 12, and we're going to divide by 2 times Q, which is negative 1, and then add 4. So inside the parentheses we just have a number, so there's no further simplification there. And then we go to exponents. I don't have any exponents. And multiplication, I do have multiplication, 2 times negative 1. So I have 12 divided by negative 2 and add 4. And 12 divided by negative 2. Well, how many times does 2 go into 12? 6 times. And since we're dividing a positive by a negative, then it has to be negative 6. And negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. So the next one is going to be a little bit easy. Oh, excuse me. The next one, it's going to be a little bit more intense here because we have 3 variables now. And so replacing the HK in this statement, we have something squared times the K plus H times H minus K. Now H is 4, and I have a 4 that goes here, and a 4 that goes here, and a 4 that goes here. And K is 0.5, so 0.5 goes here, and 0.5 goes here. And now I need to handle my parentheses first. So for my parentheses, this would be my parentheses. I have to handle this guy first before I can do anything else. And 4 minus a half is 3.5. So I have 4 squared times 0.5 plus 4 times 3.5. And now I have to handle my exponents, and my exponent I have one here, so 4 squared gives me 16, and then times 0.5. Again, just taking one step at a time. No sense in rushing through this or doing too much in our head here. And now I can handle my multiplication. Well, half of 16 is 8, so that one was easy. And 4 times 3.5, I could do that in my calculator. Or I could just know that 4 times 3 is 12, and 4 times 0.5 is 2, which gives me 14. And 8 plus 14 is 22. Alright, this one here is going to be a little bit more in depth, so I'm going to separate this side of the page with my red line here. For the next problem, since we have j squared minus 3h squared times k all over j cubed plus 2, we basically want to handle the numerator as though there's parentheses around it, and the denominator as though there's parentheses around it. So we want to do the parentheses first, right, for the order of operations. So I want to handle everything in my numerator, and I'm going to put those in big brackets. I'm going to say j squared minus 3h squared times k. All of that divided by j cubed plus 2. Now the value of j is -1, so we put -1 here and here. The value of k is 4, so we put our 4 here. And, oh, excuse me, h is 4, and k is 0.5, so we put our 0.5 here. Now we can follow the order of operations. Well, the order of operations in this case, again, it's a little bit tricky. We want to do the entire numerator first and then the entire denominator second. So the entire numerator, we handle parentheses and then exponents, and here we have an exponent here and here. So -1 squared is -1 times -1, which is a positive 1. And I'm going to keep that in brackets for right now. Minus 3 times 4 squared. Well, 4 squared is 16. And I'm going to leave that here. And we're going to multiply that by 0.5. That's all being divided by, well, -1 cubed is -1 times -1 times -1. And -1 times -1 is 1, and 1 times -1 is -1. So I have -1 plus 2. And we could simplify the top side. Well, 0.5 times 16 is 8, and 8 times 3 is 24. So I have 1 minus 24 being divided by -1 plus 2 is -1. And this gives us, this gives us -23 over -1, which is simply 23. Alright, on this last page we want to simplify the following expressions. Here we want to break down the brackets, we want to break down the parentheses, and then we want to combine any like terms. Here we're going to simplify the following expressions, and the idea here is to eliminate all of the parentheses and combine any like terms. Well, in order to eliminate these parentheses, we need to distribute the 3 and the 5 and then combine any like terms. So distributing the 3 first, I get 6q plus, oh, that's a g. All right, 6q plus 3r. And then distributing the 5, I get 20q minus 35r. r. And now we can combine any like terms. We'll have a positive 6q and a positive 20q, which gives me 26q. And then I have a positive 3r and a negative 35r, which gives me negative 32. Negative 32r. And I'm going to separate this here. Distributing the 3 for the next problem. Oh yeah, since q and r are not the same variable, again, I cannot combine these here. So starting with this problem here, I need to distribute the 3 to this binomial and the negative 2 to this binomial. So I'm going to take the 3 first, and I get 3 times 4, which gives me 12x. And 3 times 2, which is minus 6y. And negative 2 times 3 is negative 6x. And negative 2 times a positive y is negative 2y. And now I could combine any like terms. Well, I have a positive 12x's and a negative 6x's, which gives me positive 6x. And negative 6y and negative 2y is negative 8y.